Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to this awesome tutorial, epic tutorial of LinkedIn Sales Navigator 2017/2018. My name is Gabe Mazar, head of B2B marketing here at Lucidchart. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be a 15 to 30 minute video tutorial. Depends how much information I cover, but super stoked that you're here. Either number one, because you just bought a brand new account of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, or your company just bought one for you, or you're still thinking about buying a LinkedIn Sales Navigator in 2017, 2018. If it's the latter option, then make up your mind. Trust me, trust other people, and just buy it, okay? Let's just leave it at that. So before we deep dive and do a screen share and show you all the features and benefits of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I wanted to show you the comparison, right? What is it that you're getting, or what is it that you have that's different than the other versions of LinkedIn? And I think this is very, very important. If you go to business.linkedin.com/this URL right here at the very top, then you're going to see a cool comparison chart of LinkedIn Free versus Premium Business versus Sales Navigator Professional, which is, this is really important, by the way, the Sales Navigator Professional versus Sales Navigator Team and Sales Navigator Enterprise. As you can see here in the blue, you can see how many emails you get in the Premium Business, 15 versus 50 if you're in the Enterprise edition. And then you see a lot of other features and benefits that you are getting for the cost or the price that you're paying for your monthly LinkedIn Sales Navigator account. So once you determine which plan you're on, I think that's going to help you understand and how to utilize to the best of your abilities your account that you've been given with, etc. and stuff like that. So let's get to it. Log into your LinkedIn.com profile. Once you log into your LinkedIn profile, then there's a few ways you can log into the platform. Number one is click where it says Me, and then where it says Manage LinkedIn Sales Navigator Account. That's one way. The other way is here to the right in the upper header bar, next to where it says Learning, and in between the work says Sales Navigator. Once you click on that, then it's going to pop open into your LinkedIn Sales Navigator account. Now, obviously, I have a lot of information already displaying in here because I've already set up my account. If you haven't, then this is going to pretty much appear blank, and it's going to shoot you automatically to like a set up your account window. Now, a few cool things to point out in this window. It shows you your social selling index score. Okay, what this is, this measures, let's kind of talk for like 30 seconds of what this is. This measures your professional brand, how well you are finding the right people, how well you're engaging with insights, and how well are you building relationships. And then it gives you a score. Okay, so that's pretty cool to compare with you and your peers and people in your company and people that in your industry, how you compare. It also shows you how many people have viewed your profile in the past 7 days specifically, which contacts you recently viewed, and your recent searches. Okay. Now on the left-hand side, you're going to see filter updates. You can filter by most important, most recent, by all sorts of these types, and by your top accounts that you've saved. In the middle section, you're going to see leads that you've saved through LinkedIn Sales Navigator and accounts that you've saved through LinkedIn Sales Navigator specifically. Okay, so that's pretty much what you can see here in this window. Now, again, once you pop open your LinkedIn Sales Navigator account for the first time you log in, it's going to show you and it's going to help you select, hey, what are your sales preferences? Like, let's help you. The goal here is to tell Sales Navigator who you are, because their predictive lead search engine and what it shows you is very, very accurate. So you want to spend a few minutes and not just select everything and anything in here, such as geographies, industries, company size, and functions, but you want to think about your buyer, okay? Which buyers do you want to target? Are you territory-based? Are you company size-based? Are you just, free-for-all, trying to go for everything and anything? So be really, really careful and put some thought into which company size you want to target, which industry, geographies, etc. After you do that, then I highly recommend that you select yes through all three of these options. This is account and lead updates. And I'll explain this in a little bit. Saved search alerts and seat accepted notifications. This is actually an admin settings. So you might just see the top two: account and lead updates and save search alerts. Okay, so once you have all of these, then you should be good to go and get the most out of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Another cool thing to point out in this window right here, it shows you that how many emails you have left for the month. Again, because I am in the Sales Navigator Enterprise license, we get 50 emails per month. So clearly I haven't been utilizing my emails, but I highly recommend you do. I coach around 60 plus of our sales reps here, and we've gotten tons of success with the emails. But as you can see, they only add up to 150, meaning up to 3 months. Anything over 3 months, they just get deleted. They don't get rolled on over. So utilize those, and you'll get the most out of email and things like that. Now, so what do you do next, and how does it all work? If you go to Home and you click where it says Advanced, you have two options: search for leads, okay, and search for accounts. If you're territory-based, I highly recommend that you start with search for accounts. If you're not territory-based, I recommend you start with search for leads, or vice versa. Again, this is just my recommendation based on the past 3 to 5 years that I've taken a deep dive into LinkedIn Sales Navigator and gotten to know the team there, and by experience when I used to be a sales rep and working really close with the sales teams right now. Let's just say search for accounts. Let me run you through a few examples of what this shows you and the functionalities that searching for accounts can bring us. Let's say I want to target Salt Lake City, represent Silicon Slopes. So something to point out is that depending on where you live, there's going to be a selection, like a choice that's going to say the name of the city, right? So that's Salt Lake City, Utah. And then there's going to be also the name of the city or the main area or the capital, and it's going to show you what the greater Salt Lake City area. So if I recommend you select the city area selection choice. So if you're in Atlanta, the greater Atlanta area, or if you're in San Francisco, the San Francisco Bay Area, because that's going to encompass and surround, select automatically all the cities in a large radius instead of having to select 7 cities and having to type each name of the city. So I'm going to put Salt Lake City. So when I add Salt Lake City, as you can see, and the reason I know this is because when I add Salt Lake City without the city area selection, the search results didn't increase. So there's no need to really. So I want to put Salt Lake City, and then I want to select Provo, Utah area. So that serves me right now 30,000 results, meaning there's 30,000 companies, according to LinkedIn's database of 500 plus million users, that are in the greater Salt Lake City area and in the Provo, Utah area. Now, if you want to narrow it down even more, you can insert any keywords that you like. Now, I just verified with LinkedIn, and they told me that the keyword searches for any specific keywords in a LinkedIn company page. Now, what that looks like, let me give you an example. Logging into linkedin.com, and let me show you on Lucid right here. So this is our Lucid software LinkedIn company page. Now, any information that we've added into our About Us, any information that we've added as our company details, feature groups, or specialties, those were considered keywords. So when you search for accounts and you have this box, you can know and actually should be aware that you are searching for those specific keywords. For leads, it's a whole other ballgame, and I'll show you that in just a second. Industry, if you want to know, if you know for a fact which industry is the money-making industry for you, I recommend you choose 2 to 3 industries, or at least 1. If you don't know, leave it blank. For this example, I'm going to put computer software. So from 30,000 results, it narrowed it down to almost 1,100 results. So 2 areas with the industry computer software. Now, I can narrow it down even more by going where it says company headcount. Show me companies that are 200 to 1,000 employees. Okay, let's see what happens here. 36 companies. Now, I'm going to stop right here. I'm not going to mess anymore with these filters, but just so you're aware, you can even add the department headcount, which is extremely powerful. You can add department headcount growth for any of these specific departments in this drop-down box. You can add revenue. You can add if they're Fortune 100, 1000, etc. You can also add other filters. Technologies used, which is money, relationship, job opportunities. Now, a new cool thing to point out is that the technologies used, which is not 100% all there yet from my point of view. But if you want to say, are they using Marketo? Then you can say select a few of them. Again, they're adding companies each week, each month, each quarter. So just be aware of that. But it's cool that then it's called technographics. It's cool how you can now filter by technographics to have even a better or more relevant message when you reach out to your leads. Because if you know if somebody's using Marketo and you're selling Infusionsoft or you're selling Hackathon Software or Eloqua or HubSpot, then your conversation starter could be like, hey, I know you're using Marketo. This is why you need to start using Marketo. So that's just for the example. We love Marketo. And then you kind of throw in your pitch right there. So let's go ahead and search. Again, 36 companies. Now, right here, there's a new filter or newer that lets you filter and see additional information from these 36 companies. If you click on here where it says 11 with senior leadership changes in the last 3 months, what this means is from these 36 companies that I just showed you, 11 companies have multiple leadership changes in the last 3 months, meaning people either have left or people either have joined, okay? And this is powerful, again, because you want to know that who's leaving and who's joining, okay? And then maybe you should reach out, you want to multi-thread the account, meaning you want to identify, depending on the size of the account, anywhere from 3 to 5, 6, 7 contacts, and then embed them or embed yourself in the sales process, social selling in the sales process, so that way you can actually increase your chances of penetrating the account, starting conversations, and moving the needle. So in Adomo, Jonathan Rye, Shane Atkinson, Chris Kearns, they've recently been hired in the past 3 months, meaning they're most likely to introduce new practices, new technologies, and new ideas. So this might be a good time for me to reach out to them if they're my ideal buyer or my ICP, ideal customer profile. Now, once you identify some of these companies, you can start saving them. Because once you save the companies you want to go after, where it says here under lists, you're going to see all the leads that you've saved and all the accounts that you've saved. So I have 99 saved accounts. I've saved 251 leads, and I have 18,000 connections. This is a new feature that we're going to go over in just a second. So moving on here, let's say Advanced MD. They just hired Mandeep Gill and Naveen Sarabu. What I want to do then, again, save the account. And then, if you want to save all of them, that's not a problem. You can just select more than 1 or 2 or 3, etc., and then save them. But going back to this example, if I click on Mandeep, and he's the one that I want to reach out to, I highly recommend that you save this person as a lead. Because the more you save leads in the system, their predictive algorithm or equation or whatever you want to call it, starts to learn your sales preferences. It starts to learn who you want to go after. And then it starts recommending you better and better leads each month, each day, each week. So again, that's why it's really important to save leads. Not only that, but you can also have certain search alerts that let you know what Mandeep's sharing. It lets you know what Mandeep is up to. Has he been mentioned in the news? What his company's doing? So saving has a lot of awesome potential, a lot of awesome benefits of doing that. Now, once you save them, there's a panel at the very top, a header, that shows you other people who are just like him. Meaning, if you are trying to go after Mandeep, according to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is, again, it's pretty accurate and it keeps getting better and better with data and machine learning, it tells you, hey, these people might be also worth saving or looking at because they might be involved in the decision-making process or the buying process. So you can kind of scroll through these and swipe to the left or right, and then choose which ones you want to go after, okay? Now, going back to the other search results page is, let's see, Naveen Sarabu, Vice President. You click on this one, and then bam, save as a lead. Now, if you click on contact info, you might see additional information right here. Okay. Now, I have a plugin called Social Connectifier, and what this lets me see is what other social media profiles are also attached to this individual. In this case, this Chrome plugin was able to find that this Twitter account is also tied to this account. So it's also good to know, obviously Navi is not very active on Twitter, but if I were to follow him, he'd clearly get a notification and it'll stand out from the crowd. So it's a great touch point, a digital touch point that all adds to the whole mix of prospecting. So this is what you can do with accounts. So you want to save your accounts and save leads and then go from there. Now, unfortunately, you cannot save searches for accounts. You can for leads, but for accounts is a little bit trickier. Now, what you want to do specifically is you want to copy and paste this link right here. And actually, I found out that you can actually share this URL with other colleagues in your company if you've identified like a money search term or criteria. And then I would just copy and paste it somewhere, either in a note or a Word document or anything of that nature, so that way you can use it in the future or use it down the road. So that's it for accounts. Again, extremely powerful. If you're territory-based, this is where you should start. This is where you should begin. And let me see here. One thing I forgot to cover is if you click on the account specifically, it shows you how many leads you've saved. Okay. It also shows you the company description. So all of this information you can also access on LinkedIn free, the platform free. But it kind of reduces a lot of the noise, a lot of the ads, and a lot of the distractions. And it shows you the vital information that you need to know as a sales rep to take the lead to the next level or the account to the next level. Shows you 528 employees work there. You can see all of them by clicking on here. Again, lead recommendations based on the criteria that I've saved when I set up my account. You can also, again, this gets smarter the more leads you saved, how you're connected to all these people. It shows you there's some sort of relationship with me and these 355 individuals. And Team Link, there's 31 connections that I'm not connected to, but somebody in my network or my company can introduce me to them specifically. So if you want a warm intro, go ahead and use Team Link. It's a great tool. I haven't had a lot of exposure or luck with it, but highly recommend it as well. Now, right here where it says filter your updates, it shows you what is Advanced MD's social media team sharing on their LinkedIn company page. According to the leads that I've saved, which leads are appearing in the news or have done things of that nature. When I click on lead shares, which of the leads that I've shared or the leads that Sales Navigator thinks I should reach out to are sharing things on LinkedIn. So 13 days ago, Naveen shared this, so I might want to like it, comment, or message. Naveen also shared this 28 days ago. So very powerful touches, guys, that you need to capitalize on, and this is what social selling is all about. Social selling is all about being real, right? You might need to be patient, but it's not about copying and pasting, mass blasting, emailing everybody. I mean, that's just simply not human. And buyers are becoming immune to these tactics of copy and paste and mass email blast and non-human, outreach. You want to be as human as possible to earn their trust. And what I like to say about trust, it's an acronym. It's a CIA acronym. How do you build trust? Well, number one, you need to be competent. Number two, you need to have integrity. And then number three, you need to have authority. If you have those three principles, those three pillars, or whatever you want to call them, then if you can portray or display or showcase those attributes, then your buyer's going to trust you. And once somebody trusts you, then you can engage you've earned the right to have a conversation, that you earn the right to show them the product, etc. And the whole process accelerates when there's trust. So moving on here, I'm blazing through this. We're already at 15 minutes, 16 minutes. So I think this video is going to be 30 minutes or so. Company shares, this is what Advanced MD has been sharing lately. Again, if you want to know how you should break the ice, or if you want to follow up with one of your prospects or buyers at Advanced ND, instead of just saying, hey, how's the weather, or hey, how's blah, 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 or non-relevant opening line over the phone or email or social, you might want to find something that the company's doing or has done, and then show the buyers that you've done your homework, that you're in the know, that you are you want what's best for them, and you want to serve them by doing your homework. Company news, this searches Google, Yahoo, or Bing, and then it shows you when the company's been mentioned in the news. And suggested leads is another way you can find additional leads at Advanced ND that you might want to save as well. So that is it for the search for account. So we just covered how to find accounts. I just showed you also how to identify which contacts within an account, how to save an account, the features and benefits of saving an account and saving leads. Okay, again, you don't want to be able to just single thread. You want to be able to multi-thread into all of your accounts with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and that makes it extremely easy. Okay, now let's go ahead and show you the next phase here, search for leads. Now, searching for leads gets really awesome, really cool. Now, let's go over some of these filters a little bit more in depth. As you can see here, the ones that I was showing you earlier for the accounts are not as many as the ones for leads. Now, this could be kind of overwhelming. This could be a little bit frightening. Like, where do you start? What do you do? Again, just play around with it. What I'm showing you right here is what's worked for me specifically. But if you take a few minutes a day, or maybe 20 minutes a day, in the first week that you get your Sales Navigator account, play around with this. It's not that hard. I mean, the LinkedIn team has spent tons of hours and time, sweat, blood, whatever you want to call it, to make a tool that's easy for sales reps to use. Yes, it can improve, and the tool can be better in countless of ways. But by far, from my point of view, it's a must-have in every person's sales tag or every sales team sales tag if you want to multi-thread and increase your chances of reaching to a consensus or renewing an account, or upselling, etc. Now, let's go ahead and go over these filters. So keywords. Keywords I've verified is any keyword that any person has listed on their LinkedIn profile. So opening up a new tab here and going to my personal LinkedIn profile, what this means is that literally anything that a person has listed is considered a keyword. So my title, my summary, my description, any rich media that I've added, it just crawls through everything. I'm not sure if it's cross articles as well, but we'll go over that in a second. Again, descriptions of my experience, description of my rich media types. It also crawls my education, and last but not least, it crawls the skills. So if you know your buyers, and this is where it gets really cool. If you know your buyers are into you have better conversations with buyers that know sales, a marketing strategy, or Salesforce, let's just say Salesforce, then you want to say, do a search criteria, and then say, show me people in these areas that have the skill or the keyword Salesforce in their LinkedIn profile. Again, see where I'm going with this? It gets really powerful if you know how to play around with searches in Sales Navigator and just make it rain there. So let's do geography. So let's start with, I want to target let's just go Utah. So I want to see Utah. I want to see California. Okay. And, okay, bam. So 15 million individuals right here. I want to see only second-degree connections. Then you can go, I want to see people in the, let's say, software industry. Okay. And first name, last name, school. If you want to see people that, this can be also very powerful. Let's say Brigham Young. You want to see people that went to Brigham Young, then it narrows down to 5,000 people. So then your opening line or your initial outreach can be, hey, notice that you and I are both alumni or went to school at BYU. Again, this little hack right here of adding school can be very powerful if you utilize it and you position the verbiage very carefully. You could do that as well. Now, if I take it out, it should go back to the other result, 72,000. If you know their first name, if you know their last name, profile language, etc. Now, again, so we have right now Utah. We have in California. We have show me people who I'm not connected to, who are my second degree connections that are in the computer software, 72,000 people. Now, here is where it gets even better. Role and tenure filters. Now, I want to see people who are in the, let's see here, who are in marketing. I want to see people who are in operations. And I want to see people who are, meaning people, buyers, who are in sales. Okay. Title. Now the thing about title is, you see where it shows you here job titles or Boolean. Now, right now, what I recommend you do, instead of using Boolean, you select a title from the drop-down box that it recommends you. For example, Boolean means that you could do VP of Marketing, right? And then you close it, and you can do or, all caps, Vice President of blah, 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 and you close it. Now, I don't recommend you do that in this situation. I recommend that you do VP, if you are trying to go for a VP of Marketing, that as you start typing it, you maybe pause halfway through and you select the selection. So then if you want to go for Director of Marketing as well, you click on Director. If you want to go for, let's say, a Manager, you click on Manager. Now, obviously, the more specific the title is from the drop-down box, the better. This could be a manager of anything. But if you do Marketing Manager, right, that might be a little bit more better and give you more precise search results. So once you select a few of them here, then you can go, okay, show me people who are, or buyers who are at C-level, who are VPs or directors only, and managers. Showing, it's narrowing down to 4,000, 7,000 search results. Let's keep going here. Years in current position. If you know that, let's say, less than a year, there might be newer, or if you want people who have a lot of experience, you can select that there. Years at current company. Obviously, this is self-explanatory, how many years at the current company. And years of experience, also, you can see how many. So let's say less than a year, let's say out of those 7,000, it's showing me 8 people. So it narrows it down very accurately here. Now, company filters means you can select specific companies, meaning, let's say if you know the company, if you know 5 companies, you can embed those or place those here. Now, again, I'd recommend that you don't use this company filter unless you have a specific use case, and you use actually the account information, but it's okay to do it here as well. So it's up to you. You can see, I want to see people out of the 7,000 people who at least have 500 to 1,000 employees. And let's see how it filters it to 700 of them. So feel free to use any of these right here, if it's private, public, company type. And tags, we're going to go over tags in just a second, meaning you can tag a specific group of people and then filter those and use them for future searches, etc. Groups, these are LinkedIn groups, which a lot of people have joined groups, but from my perspective, LinkedIn groups is kind of dying. It's not as relevant as it used to be. Member since, this is pretty cool because it shows you how long, right, or how recently a LinkedIn member has joined LinkedIn. So if you want to say welcome to any of these prospects, you can say out of the 774, actually none have joined a day ago. Let's say over the past 2 to 7 days, how many of these prospects have joined LinkedIn? Let's see here. It's not working here. Let me clear it up. Well, anyway, you get the point here. So it's cool that it allows us to do this. And now CRM. Actually, we haven't covered this, but LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it depends on which account you have. I feel that it's like the enterprise version or maybe the team version, the team and above. I could be wrong again. Either team or enterprise together, or enterprise LinkedIn Sales Navigator allows you to connect your CRM, and in this instance, it's Salesforce. So then you can filter and say, show me all the leads. Show me in this search results engine, or in this search result, leads that are in my CRM only, or leads that are not in my CRM. And another option that could become very powerful as well. Last but not least, posted content keywords. So what posted content keywords means is, let's say if you've identified a set of keywords or keyword that if you want your buyers to be using or have used, and you want to only talk to those people, you can put that here. So let's say marketing. So then when you search for that keyword, it's going to show you that which out of the 774 people that they were about to display, how many of them have used the keyword marketing in an article, and it says 0. So this works really great if you have a larger sample of individuals, or if you're playing around and looking for a bigger sample of buyers. So let's go ahead and just search for this. Once you search, it's going to show you those 774 people here. If you like this search right here, then I recommend that you click on Save. Once you click on Save, I would name it, whatever you want. So I'm going to call it the Utah and California and whatever. So I'm going to say Utah, California buyers, Q4 2017. Now you can have this alert to email you daily, weekly, monthly, or never. And I recommend, it depends, right, how many saved searches you create. You don't want spamming your inbox, but again, it can become very powerful when any of these people either leave or other people join the search criteria, leave the company or join the company. Then it's going to also send you a notification. So it's very powerful. Highly recommend you set it up. For this example, I'm going to set it up as daily. I click Save, and bam, that's it. Now, this is where it gets really cool, and LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I think, released this this additional filtering criteria about a year ago in 2016, and I made a video about this. But out of these 774 people, 76 of them have changed jobs in the past 90 days. So maybe that's where these are the leads you want to start with, such as like, hey, notice you've changed jobs. How are you adjusting? How's the new company? How's the culture? Blah, blah, blah. 57 of them have team links. 57 of them can be introduced to you through the team link feature. Only one of them has been mentioned in the news in the past 30 days. And it even shows you the link of the article. 216 have posted on LinkedIn over the past 30 days. Meaning this is huge, because out of the 776 people, which people are they quote-unquote active on LinkedIn? It's these individuals right here. That means that if they're active on LinkedIn, then they're more likely or more prone to read your message, open your message, or even check out, like, who is this person that just sent me a message, or a LinkedIn connection invite, or an email. Okay, these are good individuals to start your prospecting efforts with. And 305 of them share a personal experience with me through LinkedIn. So Kirsten Smith and I both belong to these groups. It shows me groups. There's other commonalities here, but it's showing me just groups. Sometimes it shows me that if we both went to the same school, if we both have other similar criteria. So in this instance, it's just showing me all the common groups, so we can use this to break the ice, to understand who they are, to understand what they're interested about, and so on and so on. Now, what you do from here is you can save the leads, and just go down and save each lead. You can also tag the lead. Again, this is what I was referring to earlier. What tag the lead means is, let's say you've identified and you want to create a tag that says, these are my socially active buyers or prospects from that save search that I made called Utah, California buyers. Then what you can do here is you can tag them and create a tag that says called active on LinkedIn. Select it and click save, and that's it. Then what you can do, once you apply this tag to a bunch of leads here in Sales Navigator, you can then show it right here at the bottom. It says, show me the people who I tagged active on LinkedIn. And then this search criteria, these filters will also apply to any of the individuals or leads that you've saved, and that's money. So again, save leads is very powerful. Highly recommend you do that. Tag, use the tag feature. Shared connections, it shows me here are the 67 individuals that could possibly introduce me to Gary Damiano if I like. You can easily just scroll through these. Now there's another feature here called related leads. What related leads means is these are the people who are in the same company, Carbon Black Inc., that could possibly be decision makers, influencers, champions, etc. Now you can save these people from here. So again, I recommend saving 5 to 7 individuals that you want to go after, because if you shoot for 5 to 7, you might get a hold of 2. If you just shoot for 2 or 3, you might get a hold of none. So again, shoot for higher and choose a number that's a balanced number and go for that. So that's what related leads means. So you can easily save 5 to 7 people per company fairly quickly. Another way you could see, let's say you've identified Gary Damiano as the ultimate perfect buyer, and that in the past, you know that when you talk with VPs of marketing, the likelihood of you advancing the conversation or starting a conversation is very, very high because you know how to talk to them, you know their pain points, you know how to talk about value, etc. So if that's the case, then you click on this and it shows you related leads. View similar. If I click on view similar, it's going to show me, according to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, people who are exactly the same or as close to LinkedIn can predict to Gary Damiano, who are vice presidents of marketing that with the same experience or similar experience. It takes a lot of data factors in place, and it shows me, bam, if you like talking to Gary, or if you've identified Gary as your ideal customer profile, show me more people like Gary in different companies. And that's what this does. Again, nice and cool, bam, all the information right in front of you. You can play around with that. Going back to the window where we were, so this is where you save a lot of those leads. This is where the magic happens. Scrolling down, you can see here, and then it shows you all the leads. Now, there's 9 pages. I'm not going to go through all 9 pages of this, but there you go. Okay. Now, let me see what else I've missed here. So we covered search for leads. We covered how to search for accounts. Again, if you go to home, in your home window, that is where you see all your news of the leads and accounts that you've saved. Lists, again, these are all the saved leads that I have, 256. And then you can, again, play around with this, see who's active, see who's changing jobs, see who's been mentioned in the news, who's sharing experiences with you, etc. Let me see what else here. Under saved accounts, another benefit of saving the accounts, it shows you in a nice, easy way to find it. The 53 companies have changed leadership, meaning they've hired new people that you might want to look into because based on the settings and what you specify to LinkedIn when you set up your account. Again, very cool technology, very cool software here. You can even sort it by recently added or alphabetical. Discover, I haven't played much around with Discover, but it shows you recommended leads. Again, the more you use the platform, the better it's going to get, the more value you're going to get out of this. Recommended accounts, recommended this, and you can edit your sales preferences if you're not getting the results that you like. I think that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to cover here. Now, here to the right, you might see something that says go to Point Drive. What Point Drive is, that's a whole other video I should create, but you can create all these super fast customized websites that help you add a bunch of content such as videos, PDFs, and GIFs and stuff like that in a custom website you can send to your prospect. So then when your prospect sees it, you can get notified, and instead of sending a bunch of attachments or sending a lot of information in an email, that's what Point Drive is. And again, I'm going to make another video on that. But that's it, and that's all, guys, that I wanted to cover for Sales Navigator. Hopefully this video, I know I just crammed a ton of information, but I wanted to give you kind of a glimpse, kind of a snapshot of what LinkedIn Sales Navigator is and how powerful it is. Last time I did this video was 2 years ago, and I was very amazed by all the 50,000 plus views that my video got So thank you if you've been waiting for this video, if you watch all the way to the end. Thank you so much for sticking with me here. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in a different video. Peace out.